Hello Mr. Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays for you in the Tier 9 Japanese Heavy Tank, the Type 4 Heavy. So I've been continuing this grind recently for the Type 5, which I now have, and this is two replays in the Tier 9 Type 4, which I had sort of on the process of the grind. So the first replay I've got for you today is on Sand River. There is one enemy light tank and one enemy fun police in the game. It's only the FV305 though for the artillery, so it doesn't have the biggest alpha, a splash damage. So I'm not overly concerned about that particular artillery in the type. But yeah, so obviously it's still never ideal to be constantly getting shot up by the artillery in a big tank like this, but it could be worse. So I've had a lot of fun, I must admit, grinding this type. Now the type, obviously I'm using the DERP gun because otherwise Petty 360 would be very upset with me, and it's so much fun. You've got like 1300 alpha, and you just go around derping and splashing everyone. So we come to this position on Sand River first because I don't win a type. I don't have a lot of mobility. I'm just going to go the most direct route possible to get shots at the enemy team. And we have come across a couple of heavy tanks here in the brawl in the valley. And we was just stopping to see if we can get any shots at the top of the hill while we had an opportunity. But now we've got some targets to engage. We're going to push forward and just start splashing these tanks. We get the E75 shot, so I take that opportunity just to splash him there for 455 damage. Get safe behind this rock, and then we're just going to rinse and repeat. Now the armour on the type, when you're fighting like tier 8s or tier 9s or not firing the premium rounds or the heat shells, you can bounce quite a lot of shots. But the second someone hits that button and starts firing them heat shells at you, you're not going to bounce a lot of shots in the Type 4. The armour's not actually very good in the Type 4, considering it's like a super heavy. But in this particular game, I do manage to bounce quite a few shots. So we've got another shot there in E75 as a shot, and we already put him now on to half health. This is the beauty of the type. You just don't, you just need to aim at them, splash them. There's 400, 500, the hit point's gone. We're bouncing a few shots this MO3. We're trying to focus out the E75 just to get rid of a tank. Get a nice splash roll there for 550. Bounce another shot in return. Just going to pull back till we're safe again, and try and get rid of the enemy gun so there's less chance of me taking damage if there's less tanks alive, which have got shots on me. So I'm trying to focus out the tanks. I'd like to splash this E75 here, but I'm struggling to get my gun down to get a shot. So I just thought, sod it, I'm just going to shoot that MO3 and then pull back, just to get another 300 splash in there. Pulling back into safety now because we do have another medium there, autoloader on our left, which has got shots, which is a little bit awkward because as I poke for shots, he could potentially get shots of my flat side turret, which he wouldn't struggle to pen. But I'm going to take an opportunity to just take out the A75 while we can. And we have bounced another shot, picked up another kill there. So as soon as I come in, I turn my frontal armour to face the French medium autoloader there on the left. But he is dumping his mag, so hopefully he won't have a full amount of shots in there. There's a fun police shooting me. As you see, he doesn't really splash me for nothing, a lot at all really, so I'm not overly concerned about that. I'm going to keep pushing forward and trying to shoot this MO3. I went for the side of the turret there. Probably could have, if I hit the cupola or something like that, I could have got more splash damage. But I just went for the guaranteed shot. I didn't want to miss at this point. I just wanted to keep getting damage off into that tank, because I knew that there's that autoloader on my left. So I don't want to expose myself, try and expose myself for as little as possible as you can in your pink Type 4. I mean, if you're going to run a big heavy like this, why not make you more of a target by running this big pink camo. So we're pulling back now to be safe. We have started to eat a few shots, but that French medium tank is starting to get punished by our friendly team there, so hopefully we can try and deal with this MO3 and then we can divert our attention. We should finish him off here. We do finish him off here, and now we can try and pull back to be safe. Bounce another shot, and then we do, I think, in fact, get penned there by the AMX, but we should be able to push forward and finish him off now if he doesn't already get taken out by our friendly fun police. So he is here on a one shot. He does get taken out by our friendly tank, I think T29 I believe, and now it's just trying to push this train forward. I'm going to try and get up to the base. I've blocked 4, decent game so far, 3 kills, 2 kills, 3,000 damage, 4,000 blocked, and a little bit of track assistance. We do spot a T49. We could potentially pen here. We're going to wait to see if he gets a shot. Gives us an opportunity for a shot. We sort of really lead our shot. We do hit it, but we only shot the turret, so we don't full pen for the 1300, but we do at least slap him for 600 hit points. And we just spotted an enemy Borsig on the left, which is obviously a lovely target, which we want to get shots on. We haven't really used our second gun much in this replay. We do in the second replay though, but because it is good to try and use that second gun while you're on reload. You don't have the best pen, but if you're fighting lightly armoured targets, you can sort of get a little bit of extra damage in, or you can try and trap people in place and potentially permo trap people in place. But in this particular game, that didn't really come up that much. I was just utilising the DERP basically, poking, dirting, getting saved, going to reload, getting another DERP again. We see an opportunity to get one into this Type 57 Heavy. We aim that and he pokes up and we get another bit of damage, putting us into 4,500 damage. This game, is all but one now. It's 11 versus 4. There's no real way the enemy are going to be able to come back from this because they don't have any control of the map and they are completely surrounded. So we're just going to try and get there and just hope that they're still alive for us to get a few more shots in. We think we might get another opportunity to get a shot in this Type 57. We pick up another kill, bringing our 4th kill of the game, putting us under just shy of 5,000 damage. And at this point I'm thinking maybe I'll get a shot on this Fun Police, you never know, but it gets taken out before we get the opportunity, and it's only really these 2 tanks left now, this Aviary and the enemy light tank which we shot earlier, and we've just got to hope it gives us an opportunity to get a shot. We're trying to push forward to get one. At this point I'm not thinking like he's going to give us one, but he does, and we just managed to squeeze that in to pick up the 5th kill. And that brings us then to replay number 1, but we do still have another replay to come. So this replay picked up 5 kills, 5,000 damage, 1,000 assistance, 4,000 blocked, and the ace tanker. But one more replay to come, so I will stop rambling and move on to the next replay. Okay, so welcome back for the final replay of the video. We are platooned up with our good pal Petty 360, who is in the T49. Of course he's using the DERP gun as well. And yeah, we're on Canis. We were actually top tier this game, and there is one enemy Fun Police in the game as well as a light tank. So being in the type, my slow heavy tank as I am, I'm just going to push towards the town area at the start and hope that we can get in a brawl, work out what's there, and yeah, just obviously you're always praying in the type, but you're just going to pick the right way at the start so that you can just get into a fight, because obviously when you start having to chase the damage in these big slow heavy tanks, it can be quite frustrating at the times just trying to catch up with the damage. But you also have those games where you get into those brawls, and it is quite fun. So we spotted an enemy, an enemy medium tank here gets spotted crossing. I'm going to wait to see if we can get a shot in. We do slap him there, put him onto a 1-shot. Now I can actually pen him with a small gun, so I'm turning to try and get a shot here because he's side on, and we do. We swapped that little small gun while I was on reload, and we pick up a kill. So that's where that small gun can come in, surprisingly helpful. Obviously with the Type 4 and the Type 5, unlike the OHO, the guns, the small gun's quite central, so you don't have as much of a wider angle as you do with the OHO, so you do have to sort of turn your chassis to face the enemy team. But yeah, you can see they picked up an extra little kill there, just from swapping to that gun. So it can be very useful. Another thing that's useful is if you splash them with your type, track the enemy team, you can just swap to your small gun and keep them permo tracked, so that when it comes to you reloaded with your big gun, you can then derp them again. So we get a little shot there into Taurus, picking up another shot of damage. We do eat one as well, and the enemy Fun Police is now shooting at us, and I can sort of see that he potentially could get shots on us here. We might be able to stay safe if we keep hugging that wall, but the closer we get to them, it's going to be awkward. So it's not ideal, but they have now backed off a little bit, and I'm going to try and change a different angle to get a wider angle, so that maybe I can try and stay safer with the buildings and the Fun Police while trying to get shots at them. As we do that, the enemy Barras is there, so I'm kind of conscious, because obviously if I get an opportunity to shoot that Barras, I can definitely full pen him. with the 85 penetration and you know, one shot the tank with. So that's always very, very nice. So we're looking for a shot. We're hoping he's going to come back out, make a mistake and look for a shot. Honestly, he does do that, and we do get the shot in, picking up the kill. He does eat one as well, so we don't get the full pen. And now the enemy heavy tanks are poking for shots. So we're going to try and see if we can, you know, get behind this building. We're trying to hug it just because the enemy fun police was shooting, you know, while we're trying to lose our spot. They have now backed up, so we're just going to keep the pressure because a lot of our team is in the town. So I'm going to keep pushing. Enemy Petty is on the other side, trying to hold the enemy team back over that side. And I'm quite slow, so I don't want to have to turn all the way back to deal with that. I just want to try and push and get as much damage as I can. Now, I took the time to try and aim for the cupola to maybe get a bit more splash damage. Bit of a waste of time, really. I've just missed a shot. I could have just tracked him in place so he couldn't really get anywhere and still splashed him for like 300-400 damage. But yeah, you know, so unfortunately I do miss that shot, but that is the way of the derps. But then that's also the way of the derps. Anything Talon gets spotted, and potentially was AFK, I'm not sure, because he wasn't, you know, alive for long enough. I just full on aimed a little bit and just full penned him side on and just one shot at that tank. And yeah, that is hilarious when that happens. When you get those splashes. Obviously not like playing the Avery. When you do that, you just feel filthy just because of the speed of the thing and the armour of the tank. Not so much in the Type 4, because at least it takes you a while to get there. I got one shot into that T10 as he was pushing, but I didn't want to hang around. I just wanted to keep getting across. I put one in. I was thinking my team would just finish him off. I kind of thought I was going to lose an extra pen for him though, but thankfully he actually bounces the rear of me, and obviously then he does get taken out by our team after I left him there on the one shot, and he turned to focus myself. The enemy team are on the hill, so I've got to be careful because I can't just push around broadside for this tortoise while the enemy team is shooting at me from that hill, because obviously I'm going to start to lose pens. But our friendly heavy tank goes in, takes the focus away from the tortoise. I'm going to try and track him in place there, and we do so, picking up another 400 of damage. I'm keeping an eye at the hill, so if they do poke, then I'm just going to hopefully be able to get a shot into them. But now I really need to help out our friendly heavy tank who has turned the tortoise. We're going to get another shot in here. We're potentially going to go for the track shot. I didn't want to risk missing, so I'm just going to slap him there for 400. We do track him in place anyway, and he should now get taken out by our T77, and he does. And at this point it's 8 versus 4, so feeling pretty confident. But this game does come a lot closer than you might think, you know, by the scorelines at the moment. It's brought back to the 7 versus 4 now. I'm kind of concerned that either, you know, A, that we're going to cap out before I get any more damage, being the type, or that B, they're going to start to cap us out. So I'm going to just do all I can and just drive the most direct route possible now to where the rest of the damage looks like it is, and also to try and get back to defender base, because obviously I can't. It's going to take me a while to get there, so I just need to just drive as directly as we can. We've had an alright game. We picked up just shy of 4,000 damage and 3 kills, a little bit of a track assistance there. We've applied cap pressure, the enemy team have applied cap pressure, and I'm just going to try and get to the damage before either one of us caps out. The enemy team has now got off the cap, because obviously probably realise they're not going to be able to stay safe there. It's now a 6 versus 3. I can see the enemy Tiger 2, which I'm going to just try and push in and get some damage in there. And yeah, we've still got a minute in the clock, so still got enough time to get a bit more damage. And an enemy medium tank, the CS there, gets spotted as well. They do take out one of our friendly tanks. We slapped the CS there for 400, putting them onto a 2-shot, and then we quickly swapped to the small gun for good measure to get an extra pen in. And was hoping to try and deal with this Tiger 2, take out a gun out of the game, but our ISM gets killed behind us. So now the CS is behind us, and this is awkward here. We're going to go out to kill the Tiger 2, but I should lose a penetration shot there. But he bounces the rear of my tank, which has potentially just saved me and cost him there, because I would have died, unfortunately, if it wasn't for that. But I should now be able to get another shot in, and I could potentially eat a shot from him as well, because obviously it was 390 alpha. But we're able to get that kill in, and yeah, confirm another kill, putting us into 5,000 damage and 5 kills. And at this point it's looking like we're going to cap out. The 7 seconds left on the clock, but he quickly gets taken out at the nick of time by the tier 7 tank destroyer in the enemy team, putting us into a 1 versus 2. He is full health, and it's going to be awkward for me to spot this tank. I'm just going to have to drive and just hope that we can get there to get a shot in. Obviously, if he's utilising his camo, it is going to be awkward, but he's also going to struggle to pen me frontally in that tier 7 TD. You know, obviously, if he gets the side of me, gets the side of the target, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. But frontally, he's actually going to struggle to pen. So I just need to try my best to keep my front armour where I think he's going to be. But as you can see, I am detected here. He's not. Sorry, I'm spotted here, but he's not targeting me. So he's probably trying to run or get into position to get some better shots at us, or maybe try and take, you know, get a side shot on us. Well, you just spot him in a nick of time. I'm able to turn, so he's not able to get a broadside shot on us. We know where he is now, so we're just going to have to try and stumble across. I'm kind of thinking our friendly TD might take him out, but we just need to, yeah, just try and trap him there. Obviously, there's very little I can do other than just drive directly at him at this point. But obviously, you know, potentially he could lose his spot, get out there, and just keep out spotting us, which is obviously always the problem when you're in a big slow heavy like this. But he does sort of poke. We're hoping, yeah, is he going to drive forward for us to get a shot? But he's realised that and he's pulled back, trying to get safe. Our friendly tank destroyer in the SU is looking to try and pop over and get a shot in, and he does manage, I believe, to slap him there, or he eats a shot, sorry, and then he manages to slap him 400. He's obviously using the smaller gun on that SU. This is probably a one-shot splash for me at this point, but it's whether I can actually chase him down, because you can see we're just doing circles at this point. I'm trying to get there. I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I'm going to turn just in case he's gone round the other way, but this is awkward. You know, I'm trying to get there. I'm on for a top gun, so I would like to get this kill, but I'm also concerned he's just going to run away, lose a spot, and we're going to be running around, you know, for the rest of the game, which I don't particularly want to happen. But that is the problems when you're in your type. He's come around. He's obviously either drove him back towards our cap, or he's going to try and make a break for it, which he does, and he gets spotted by a friendly TD, but he takes out our SU, putting us in a 1 versus 1 situation. Obviously, I am 2 tiers higher, but I am only on 400 hit points, and like I say, it's going to be difficult to spot this tank. So I'm going to just try and push this hill in case he's sort of hiding around that hill. But I've now got in the back of my mind that I have to be careful, because if I spend all this time chasing him and he just leaves and goes straight to our cap and gets in the cap circle and I'm caught out on the other side of the map, I may not actually have enough time to get back for the cap circle. So I've kind of got to make a decision. If I don't spot him up this ridge, I've either got to go straight for our cap now and defend it, or sit in the cap circle and just hope that, you know, when he comes to the reset, we're able to get a shot. Obviously, the problem with sitting in the cap circle is, you know, in theory they can outspot us, so that they can potentially look for an angle where they can pen us in the side. Either or, none of them is going to be a great option, but I really want the kill, so I haven't spotted him up this point, and now I'm thinking, you know what, I might just go and sit in our cap circle, because there is a rock which I can try and at least hide the rear of my tank from, and I might be able to stay semi-protected, but it is awkward. So obviously my friendly team is pinging me to get in the cap now, because this is the problem, is 3 minutes 40, just shy of 4 minutes on the clock. At this point he could have gone anywhere. He could be trying to get behind me, or he could just be going all the way to the cap, and any minute they're getting the cap circle, and then it might be difficult for me to get back there. It'll be tight. So I get detected here in the open. I'm now thinking, where is this? I just got to try and just hope that he's not side on to me. I lose the detection spot. Now I've noticed there's an enemy wreck here in the cap, which I was trying to cap earlier. So this makes me think I might actually be able to push this wreck round, which and sort of hide the side of my tank and hide the rear of my tank behind this rock, and then at least it limits the angle the enemy team are going to be able to get an easy reset. It makes it more challenging for the enemy team to get the reset, and I've decided I'm just going to push this tank around like this, so it can sort of protect the side of my tank. I'm protecting the rear of my tank with the rock there, and now I'm just hoping he's going to come out at an angle where I'm able to get a shot, because obviously he's going to have to go for the reset now to win the game. So he will, if he wants to win, has to come back and try and deal with me. So I was thinking, I'm going to do this because that gives me an opportunity to get the kill. Otherwise I'll just be chasing this tank round. the whole map all game, and I could end up not killing him, and it could go down to, you know, a decision if it's going to be on the hit points who wins the game. So I'm sitting here, I've got my sort of right hand side semi protected by that wreck, rear sort of semi protected by this rock, and I'm just hoping he's going to come in front of me, or I'm going to get enough time. I get detected. I've not spotted him there. I'm turning because he's obviously on my left. I do actually manage to bounce a shot. I splash him. I haven't quite killed him, but I swapped to the small gun. Looking for a shot. He's going to struggle to pen there, but where he's reversed up onto the ridge, I've actually got a shot onto his engine deck where I can pen. If he would have stayed flat, funny enough, I probably wouldn't have been able to pen with a small gun, but I was able to pick up that kill with a small gun in the end. Bringing an end to the video, we get 6 kills. We get the ace tanker, the high caliber, the top gun. Yeah, so a decent game in the Type 4. Yeah, I've really enjoyed playing this tank actually. It's a lot of fun, but I'll get some more replays in the Type 5, I'm sure, at some point. But as always, thank you so much for your support. You've been amazing. Happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!